Hello and welcome to LIS571Intro 571 Introduction to Technology. This lecture will present a brief overview of the course. I'll go over how the course will be structured, what you'll need, and how the course will be organized. First, let me say that I'm looking forward to guiding you through the material and helping to give you a good background in information and communication technology. I've always really enjoyed working with technology, and if you like working with information, as I do, and figuring out how to organize it, finding out what kind of things it can tell you, then I hope you will too. I'm sure some of you may feel a little intimidated by technology and perhaps by taking the course, but we'll take it step by step with clear instructions and plenty of support. So if you keep up and ask questions, there isn't any reason all of you shouldn't do well in the course. So let's begin. We'll get some administrative details out of the way, and the first thing you should all do is read the syllabus very carefully. The syllabus is a formal agreement between the instructor and students. You're responsible for everything on it, including the policies and understanding the grading and such. There will be some quiz questions on the syllabus. The syllabus is considered draft up until the first day of class, and then it's a binding agreement subject to change only in certain limited ways. The syllabus contains tentative schedules and topics that may change during the semester depending on how the class goes, so be aware of that. But policies and grading are firm once the course starts. The course is an online course conducted in the Desire to Learn course management system, D2L. The syllabus contains links to the course login site and to D2L help and tutorial links. So be sure you know how to get around in D2L by the time the course starts. The syllabus also contains contact information for the university's 24-hour technical support help desk. The syllabus lists several objectives for the course that you should read, but let me give you an overview. First of all, there are many things that any upper division graduate, undergraduate, or graduate course titled Introduction to Technology should cover. And for this reason, we're going to use a standard text to make sure you have a grounding in some of those key areas. But we also want to make sure you have hands-on technical skills and a sense of the history and development of the technological world we live in today. So the text will be supplemented by additional labs and readings, and you'll find out more about those as the course unfolds. I'm requiring a primary textbook fluency with information technology. There will be a rental option within D2L at a very attractive price with, I'm not sure if it still includes an option to upgrade to a print copy, but we'll find out about that once the course starts. And you'll also need access to the text website. There are two books we'll read and discuss in small groups, The Innovators by the biography of Stephen Jobs, and a shorter essay toward the end of the course I think you'll enjoy debating. Finally, you'll need the full Microsoft Office suite for some of the hands-on exercises. There's a free license for that if you don't already have it available to U of A students. Or you can use library computers if you don't want to or can't install it on your own computer. For example, if you're running a Linux desktop and it's not available. Now let's talk about how the course will lay out as the semester progresses. First, there's a calendar and schedule for the course in the course documents folder of D2L content. You should look at it and transfer any deadlines to your own calendar if you keep one. There are 15 full units, so in a fall or spring semester, each week a unit will open in content. And at the very least, there will be a written module plan and a link to one or more video lectures. We'll work and pace as a class. It's not a self-paced class, even though it's online. And although you can read ahead in the textbooks if you like, the module plans and lectures won't open early in order to keep us together. The module plan will outline the objectives for the unit, list in detail the readings, provide links to video lectures or other videos and readings, provide a list of discussion questions, and outline the specific list of assignments that you need to complete. There's a quiz or exam due for each unit. All quizzes are taken in the D2L quiz engine. All assignments are uploaded to the D2L assignments Dropbox. All discussion takes place in the D2L discussion section. And all assignments, discussion, and quizzes are due according to the schedule. In summer, the 15 units are covered in approximately 10 weeks, so you'll need to be paying attention to the schedule of due dates, which fall intermittently during a given week. You should expect to spend about 8 to 10 hours per unit, or 135 to 150 hours altogether for the course. So in fall and spring, that works out to around 8 to 10 hours per week to cover all the material. And in summer, due to the shortened schedule, you'll probably be spending around 15 hours per week on the course. Grading's covered in the syllabus. I'll talk about it just briefly. There are 7 grade components. The first component is weekly assignments. Those are sets of exercises due, well, actually for each unit. In the summer, they'll be due more frequently than each week. Those total 30% of your grade. There will also be discussions for each unit totaling 15% of your grade, quizzes totaling 15%, 2 exams totaling 15%, 2 assignments at 5% each, and then a final project, which is 15% of your total grade. For undergraduates, the project is an individual project. For graduate students, the project is a group project, and that will also include a peer review component. Details of the project will be announced and posted in content course documents once the course gets underway. Each unit's assignments include exercises you need to complete, mostly from the course textbook, and then other exercises specified in the module plans. The hands-on exercises are mostly completion exercises unless otherwise specified. So you need to do the exercises and then prove you completed them. More often than not, that's usually by uploading a screen print of the completed exercise to the Dropbox. Be sure you know how to create screen prints for upload. Also note that you may be asked, and especially in the case of the textbook exercises, to custom modify some of the data so I can then identify from the screen print that it's uniquely yours. So be sure to read the instructions and the module plan carefully. For many units, there will be multiple individual assignments. Unless otherwise specified, you get full credit for timely submission of a fully completed set of assignments. The syllabus covers the deductions that will apply for late submissions, and I'll talk about them in a second. A portion of the grade, 15%, will be based on class discussion. The class will be divided into smaller groups for discussion to keep it interactive and fresh. And discussion questions based on lectures and readings will be included in the module plan. Each week, a different student will act as a discussion leader to keep the discussion moving and to organize questions about the 2 books we'll read over the semester. There's a separate Ask the Instructor discussion section to ask technical questions or seek help or clarification with assignments. Technical questions and questions about the material and the text should be asked in this section and not in email. Students may also help each other in this discussion section, however, do not post quiz questions or answers. You must post at least 2 substantive top posts and 2 substantive replies for full discussion credit, although more are encouraged and will add to your understanding of the course and topics. You should post your first top post well before the deadline to give others time to respond. And if I see that the class or a section is waiting until the last minute to post, I reserve the option to set an earlier deadline for the top posts. You're also responsible for reading all of the posts in your discussion section by the time the section closes, and this is tracked by D2L. I don't grade individual posts, but I keep track of and occasionally will participate in discussion sections. And I'll let you know individually if your posts are not meeting standards. Needless to say, posts must be civil and respectful, so avoid flames or bullying or impolite argumentation that can result in loss of credit. Repeated violations can also lead to other sanctions, so see the syllabus for the policy on classroom and community behavior. There will be quizzes scheduled for each unit, except for the units of the midterm and final exam. The quizzes are short, usually between 15 and 25 multiple choice, multiple select, true-false questions. These cover terminology and basic concepts, mostly drawn from the text. You'll be graded on the best of up to 3 attempts, and the grading system is the typical 90 to 100% an A, 80 to 89 is a B. The quizzes are on the honor system. They're open book. You must take them yourself and not discuss the quiz specifics with fellow students or post questions or answers online. So refer to the Student Code of Academic Integrity in the syllabus. You should use these quizzes as a learning tool. They're meant to reinforce terms, basic concepts. These should be really straightforward. Quiz open, due, and close dates are the same as discussion and assignment dates for the weeks in which they're assigned. There is no grace period, or late penalties for the quizzes. They close on the due dates. And the midterm and final are drawn from the quiz pool. There are 2 assignments other than the weekly assignments, each worth 5% of your grade. The first is designed to get you reading in the media about technology. I'll set up a discussion area, and the idea is to bookmark 1 tech article per week and comment on it briefly, 150 to 250 words. Your entry and your comment should reflect some issue, some social, ethical, or whatever impact. Don't just summarize the facts of the article. You should have something intelligent to say about it. These are spaced out 1 per unit. You can't wait till the last day of class and just do 15 articles. The discussion area closes each week after a grace period with penalties for late entries. I'll be checking the section each unit. The second assignment is done earlier in the semester. It consists of searching and looking for 4 job postings in the tech sector and reviewing the particulars, the education requirements, skills, and so on. Those of you in the MA Library and Information Science program should focus on as much as possible on libraries, museums, archives, other institutions where you think you might like to work. And there will be more details on that assignment in the course documents folder. Late work, all of the work, including assignments, projects, and discussion, and quizzes have firm due dates. There's a schedule posted that lists all of the due dates for the upcoming semester. Quizzes and exams close on the due date posted. There is no late policy for those. They're due on the date posted. Otherwise, the assignments, projects, and so on have a 5-day grace period. After the due date, they're penalized 1 letter grade for up to 5 days past due, and then after that, the sections close and they can no longer be accepted for credit. Obviously, for true emergencies with documentation, we can make some exceptions, but as I say, for true emergencies, documentation is required. And the last day of class is the last day to submit any work for credit. Incompletes for the course are very rarely given and require truly exceptional circumstances. You can read the syllabus for the policy on incomplete should a true emergency necessitate that eventuality. So that should get you started. The course opens up in D2L a few days in advance of the first day of class. You can post an introduction, and then we begin with the first couple of chapters from the text. The rental text will be available starting on the first day of class. You'll need the Microsoft Office software within the first few days, so take a look at that. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to working with all of you in the coming semester. Good luck.